that you guys have been asking us to address. And this time around, we wanted to, address a lot of things at once. So it's basically on starting your career, adopting soft skills while you're in university, and how to go forward with them when you are finally graduated. So for that, I have Erin Rizvi. First of all, Erin, I would want you to give your introduction to the people that are watching their live and a little bit of your journey.
All right, thank you, Soha. Wonderful to be here today. So I am belonging to IT industry, started my career with some partners in Dubai and then tech data, followed by handling account management of Microsoft. And then I was with Cisco, handling a couple of regions over there for 5.5 years. I did have my own startup then called Fix on Click that I partnered up. And after exiting that, we came to Pakistan. And once I was here, I started right away with IBM, handling the global technology services department of theirs and a couple of telcos here. And after that, I was with Schneider Electric, handling the portfolio of APC as the head of sales for Northern Central KPK. So it's been a wonderful journey. And then since then, it's been almost a couple of months that I have started my own venture now, where I do trainings, I talk to youth, I talk to women in STEM, to people in education sector, in government sector, and focusing on effective communications and the experiences that I have had in last 17, 18 years of my wonderful career with a lot of struggles and learning. So that's the intro, and we would surely going to be talking around all of these spaces.
All right. It's perfect. Asha, there's a little bit of technical, kind of issue that we're having. I think, Aaron, we would have to mute ourselves while the other person is speaking, that we don't hear the echo. So first of all, Aaron, thank you so much for taking out this window. Since okay, a lot of our audience here at LinkedIn are people that are either doing their university right at the moment, or have freshly graduated and they're in this run to understand the market, how to be a market fit, and really just sell themselves and their skills. And when we were having this conversation before the live, you mentioned a couple of things which kind of like strike to me a lot. Okay, right now you would, okay, आजकल everybody is encouraging people, young people especially, to do their own business, entrepreneurship. While that is a great mindset to promote, I think one thing that it has also promoted is okay, a lot of these young kids are taking as, okay, ठीक है, we might not need a degree. We're like dropping out and everything, right? And हमने last time इसके ऊपर बात की थी. So I would want you to, first of all, kind of touch on the fact that why is educational degree important? And even if you find yourself in an education degree that you don't feel like you will pursue in the future, why does it still hold it as important? And university years किस तरह aid करते हैं for you to then, further move in your life?
All right. So, Soha, there is a very misconception that everyone who is a billionaire with a wonderful success story, and all of them are dropouts. Not all of them. There are very few people, you could probably count on your fingers. But let me tell you, there is a misconception that, Elon Musk was there at Harvard and or Stanford University. He joined in and then he left, that, it's not something that he wants to do. The truth is that when he was working for Zip, and then after selling out Zip, he again went to the University of Pennsylvania and he did his bachelor's, and he has also done his master's in mechanical, electric, whatever the majors were. So the matter of fact is that everyone goes back to the university at the decent time and they do get an education. The reason is university prepares you for the real world. It gives you that social experiences that you need to cater up while you are in the real world. And while you're over there, you actually start building up your skills of presentation, of education, of studying, of researches, and social skills, which are very important. University is important. What do you have to lose? This is what I need to understand from the youth, that what do you have to lose if you go to the university? But there is a lot at stake once you do not go there. And while you're coming up with that thought that, I would start my own business, let me tell you, somewhere down the line, you are going to need that education. My personal experience is that I have done BCIS from London Metropolitan University. However, I always wanted to do masters in some of the majors. While I was doing my startup and while I exited my startup, my sister, when she started with business economics education, the youngest one, I wish I had that education. when I was doing my startup. It had the major formulas that I learned practically, whereas if I studied that and then I did my startup, my whole experience and ball game would have been very different. So I would say that everyone should give a shot of at least doing bachelor's for getting experience of presentation skills, mastering, doing social networking, having, and the extracurriculum activities actually makes you a better communicator, a better person. And of course, the research skills that you get, the education skills that you get are not comparable to the work market directly or entrepreneurship. So that's my answer to you.
That makes really sense, a lot of sense actually. And I feel like no matter how much, when even I was in my uni years, right? It used to frustrate me a lot because, like, as a student, for you, juggling around with different subjects and everything, it kind of like, frustrates you as a student. You're like, it's a lot. But really, when I myself like went out in the market and, I had studied the fundamentals on paper, it really helped me because then in the practical world you are able to like connect the dots and it makes sense for you, and it makes sense for you to have this practical experience very seamlessly, right? This gives you kind of like help us go to our next question, which is okay, basically, my personal observation and something that I've talked a lot about is that during your university years, a lot of students are focused on getting the good grades, basically being nerds. And while that is good, it gives you a good GPA, but I feel like a lot of them also run away from the fact that we would have presentations, we would have some sort of like assignment where we would be required to have our public speaking skills kind of like shine through. They would avoid that at every single cost because that would just help them escape, or they would not feel that it's necessary. So how would you say that during your university years you actually make use of these little assignments and the presentations हमें दे दी जाती हैं to these students who actually run away from them? Because I feel like it's important and necessary to highlight it because यही चीजें जो हैं आगे जाके they help you to market your skills and sell yourself really.
Absolutely, Soha. You actually answered it yourself. One of the things that universities need to do is have presentations requirement mandatory every semester. I would say they should have it every month, honestly speaking, but I would say every semester there has to be a pressure, there has to be credit points for presentation mastery, that that they have to do presentation skills on something or the other. The reason is that I have seen lots of universities around here that do have a presentation requirement in the end, and sadly I would see that the teachers or the professors would take it one on one, because even the professors or the teachers, they have a hiccup doing presentations, or they usually do not have those skills to share with the students that what should you do to overcome your introversy or overcome your fear of public speaking or just standing and speaking in front of your batchmates. This is very important that we should have this kind of activity in every semester, and they should be forced that whatever you have learned, whatever you're good at, pick up one of your subjects and you have to do a 5 to 7 minutes or 7 to 10 minutes of presentation. This will help them get their skills on designing, on skills on putting up presentations. Let me tell you, Soha, any job pick it up that you take in a corporate does require presentation skills. And if you are not doing presentations, somebody else is taking credit for your work. So you must be working hard off, but then there's someone else who is actually showing presentation of the work that you have done. And we know many technical people, many introverts, many pre-sales people who go through this, that they do all the hard work of designing, and in the end of the day there is somebody else who's presenting their artwork and hard work and everything that they have done, which is their design estimates and all. And the reason is because we do not have in our schools and universities the capacity to get students forced up to get the skills of presentation. And for that, I would actually recommend one more thing, that out of all the subjects that they have, I would really request them to at least once in a week or once in a month have a subject of soft skills that shares that how to give presentations, how to give evaluations, how to negotiate, conflict resolutions, delegations. And then these things are going to, and imagine if you do that for 4 years, every month, if you're doing it 52 into 4, so more than 200 times you've actually practiced it so well that that prepares you that even if you're a technical engineer, you're a technical person, you're just an administration person, somebody who wants to be behind the desk, still you would have that skill to do presentation at your workspace and get the credit of the work that you actually have been doing. So I would really recommend universities to start implementing soft skills in every majors across the board.
Yeah, and also like again, as you said, okay, this really, really, when you start participating in, presentations or public speaking activities during your university time, it really does prepare you to face the corporate world or wherever, like what kind of any kind of ecosystem you essentially want to exist in. Because at the end of the day, if you are going to go out in the world, you need to know how to communicate. And while you may be competing for a job, but you need to know there are also like thousand more people that are doing the same. So you really have to like stand out, you have to sell what you have, so kind of like I really do, I'm with you on this one, because I personally have worked a lot on this, and I've seen a lot of people work on this and really achieve really, really great things, because again, you need to sell yourself essentially. Acha, I would also want to, you speak very well, mashallah. So I would want to know, okay, what stemmed in you, what kind of like interest stemmed in you that, kind of pushed you towards public speaking, and you've, mashallah, gotten awards on that as well. So I want you to kind of like tell us about that, and uske baad let's, walk towards the drafting your career path and all that good stuff.
So Soha, I am introvert by nature, very hard to believe. I do not like going for shoppings. I do not like going much in public places. I find it very hard to network at places where I don't know people. But then that's what I do. I try to step out of my comfort zone. I try to come out of that and I force myself to take up a step to do it. Because once I link with people, I start syncing with them, that's where I start enjoying. And the place where I really love, what I love doing is solving issues, solving problems where people bring up a question and then I get into a fact at a place that, I would like to respond to them with a solution or with an answer. So how did this start? I think this is all a part of schooling and the university system that forces you to do that. So I come from a system where I was forced that I have to give a presentation every semester. This was a part of my curriculum. And there was a huge presentation on a couple of, we had to make a software, we have to give presentation on how that software was made, and then of course how that software works. And we were forced to get our software implemented at a company, which means that, and it was an HR software that I made, which I sold it off to a rent-a-car company for pennies. And I'm glad I did that. But then I had to go out of my comfort zone, sell it to someone, tell them to give it a shot, give it a try, deploy it. So these are the things that starts from early times. But if someone has not got that kind of training, I would highly recommend join in public speaking places and platforms that support you to do that. One of the most common places is Toastmasters International. We have lots of clubs in Pakistan all over. Go to toastmasters.org, see which is the club close to you and become a part of it. They have lots of programs and it's self-learning. Public speaking can never be forced on you. It can, communication, nobody can actually put it down your throat. You have to do it yourself. It's a self-learning pace. And the ages that we are at, once you are in university, nobody can force you to do that. It could be something that could be done in childhood. So if you have younger children at home, younger niece, nephews, do get them to talk, do let them have read a book every week. And once in a month, let them give a presentation in front of all the siblings and parents. Get some cousins along. Start this with the kids. Let them do a presentation on their favorite subject that they learned that month and get them to show it up to you. So get everyone to start speaking. And let me tell you, not everyone who speaks well is an extrovert. This is a misconcept. They are not extrovert. It's just that they have practiced the skill so many times that it gets slightly less uncomfortable for them. So I usually tell my mentees around me that trust me, I have 43 trophies with me. I have 43 awards with me, and I've got them between 4 countries that I have competed in public speaking. And I still get nervous. My legs would shake slightly, but I have learned how to hide it. So we all get that adrenaline rush, and that is what makes you a better speaker or a better performer. You have to get nervous to do a good performance. The fear of doing a mistake, the fear of hiccups, the fear of stumbling, the fear of having ahs and ums and forgetting your lines makes you become a better speaker, because that fear gets the best out of you. Have you noticed that you perform the best on your deadlines compared to if you had months to do something? And that's the fear of not submitting your things on time. That deadline fear makes you perform much better, and that turns out to be your best work. So public speaking communication is similar thing. Join in the platforms, write on Google and search. I'm not saying that there is only Toastmasters International. That's probably the most economical platform that we could get, but look out for presentations, skills where you can learn, public speaking places that you can go to, and try practicing that. Over to you, Soha.
Thank you so much for, really just walking us through how does one, kind of like get into this mindset basically. Because I feel like if you do not have that can-do mindset, you're going to like put yourself away from so many opportunities that you can really just get and you can grow. And I feel like having this mindset, I'll do it regardless if it's bad or good, if I shake on the stage or not. You just have to gain that experience, and the next time you don't even know, okay, you might just do really really well. Acha, Idam, you have such a dynamic background, right? And you have so much experience, so first of all, I just want to know, okay, how did you crafted your career path, and then how would you recommend others to do that as well? Since again when we were talking, so you told me about a bunch of things that you've done, not just in Pakistan, like out of Pakistan, right? So, and the essentially the importance of actually sitting down and just writing it down. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do in like the next 5 or 10 years.
Soha, I get very surprised when I talk to children who are in ninth and 10th that what do you plan to do at university and after university? And they say, let's go with the flow. I think that is the most irresponsible thing you can do for yourself, because you really owe it to the life that you have received and all the hard work that your parents have done around you, the society has done around you, the family has done around you, because a person is not brought up only at a home, it's a part of the whole society. So I feel that you should have a plan, always have a goal, always envision something about yourself, about your career, about the things that you want to achieve once you're 20, you're 23, you're 25, you're 26. I personally had a goal of getting a couple of things or reaching to a salary once I'm 40. I hit that when I was 26. So I envisioned it every time that I would go to sleep and I wouldn't be able to have a good birthday just thinking that how far I'm from my vision. I have passed one more year and how far I am. One of the reasons is that my father had cancer while I was in university and I had to step out to work. And when I went to work, I said, I just can't be blindly working. I need to have a path. 3 months into my job, I started crafting that if today I'm in an IT partner company, what is the next level I have to be at? What is the next level of that? And while I was studying, I envisioned that I need to be in a distribution company like Tech Data. And I would usually see that people from Tech Data would get hired by MNCs like Cisco, IBM, Canon, and all that. And while I was finishing my degree, the first thing I did was I started crazily applying at Tech Data. Few tips here. Find your dream organization. Have 3 dream organizations that you want to be part of that should be related to your education and some internships that you have done, and then start crafting up, look out for jobs that open over there. This is what I did. I started very closely following that what are the job openings, what is required for that job. And one thing that I saw what that they need a graduation. So I made sure that the moment I finish my graduation, I start applying. So somewhere around October, I did my graduation, and the next year, March, I was in Tech Data. So I made sure that I applied on every position possible that I could get. I started calling up people. I did some, so you get head hunted for a job. I started head hunting over there. I would get in touch with the directors, with the sales managers, share a 30 seconds portfolio about myself and say that, if you have a position opening, please do let me know. I'm interested. This is what all I have done. And I was called up over there. After Tech Data, I knew that, if I work hard, if I keep it on path, I'll be taken up by an MNC. 11 months after Tech Data, I was headhunted by Microsoft, and Microsoft picked me up for their NEPA region. Now, one of the things that happened was that when I was before Tech Data, I used to tell my mother that, I'm going to work in Dubai Internet City, where all of these brands are there. And I was in Dubai Internet City then. And I remember manifesting while I was in Cisco that, kya pata main ek din IBM mein hongi. And I was in IBM when I came to Pakistan. And Pakistan was a new region for me. I did not study in this country. I had no network over here. I had literally zero friend circle, and I was hit by COVID 19. So hardly could go out to network. However, still, I manifested, I started getting in touch with people, I started working around that, how could I get into an organization of vendor that, these MNCs, and I was with IBM. So it's very important that you craft it down, write it down, think about it. Every time you go somewhere, make that person's life hell. If you find someone from that industry that, please मुझे guide करें, आपको कैसे मिला? How many people do you know? Whom should I get in touch with? मैं कौन कौन से courses करूं जिसके बाद मैं यहाँ पे entry ले सकता हूँ? What should I work on? And then spend your 1, 2, 3 months in manifesting and trying to prepare yourself for that role. देर इज नथिंग इम्पॉसिबल. मैं कहती हूँ अगर आज आप ये सोचना शुरू करें दैट आई वांट टू बी इन गूगल, आई वांट टू बी इन Amazon, start working towards it. There is a crafting that you do, and sometimes I feel that I should write a book on it, that how did my crafting of 5 to 6 years work. And one of the things is कि आपको नींद नहीं आनी चाहिए सुकून से. Every day you need to do one small thing towards your goal. और उसके बाद एक बड़ा गोल होना चाहिए that you put at the age of 35, you put up for the age of 40, you put up for the age of 50. And you have to start doing that while you are in the school and university. Those dreams will change. फ्रॉम द विल ऑफ गॉड, खुदा की तरफ से, या आप जल्दी कर लेंगे या थोड़ा सा लेट हो जाएगा, या आपका मुल्क चेंज हो जाएगा, सो यू माइट इवन चेंज योर प्लान्स, बट डू हैव क्रेजी गोल्स. इफ टुडे you are saying कि मैंने सोचा नहीं, I want to go with the flow, I request you to change it today. Start getting in touch with smart people, successful people, और थोड़े से ऐसे लोग जो बड़ा passionate हैं अपने job में, उनसे start getting in touch with them, ask them that how could you become like them, or let us get couple of views that मैं electrical engineer करना चाहता हूँ, और या मैं automobile में जाना चाहता हूँ, या मैं human resources में जाना चाहता हूँ, and start working towards it now while you're still studying in university. This is how I would say the crafting would happen.
This is a lot of work towards yourself, and I feel like this is amazing, because at the end of the day, as you mentioned, everybody around you puts a lot of work in you, and you don't realize it when you're younger, right? And so वही वाली बात है कि it's really very very common among the young kids कि we'll go with the flow, we'll figure something out, I have so much time. And while that's fine, that's a good mindset to have, to not take a lot of anxiety, but I feel like you need to understand that if you want to do big, you need to think big and eventually just work towards it. So really really beautifully put together, Iram. So we are having a lot of questions, Abhi. So one of the first question is which soft skill should be your first soft skill that you attain? So what would you say on that? You need to unmute your mic, sorry.
Thank you, Soha. Thank you for that. The first soft skill would be, सबसे simple चीज है. आपको presentation skills में एक slide बनाइए. Make slides, let couple of points be there. They help you remember कि, किस चीज पे बात करनी है. They should be bullet points. And I think सबसे पहले आप ये कर सकते हैं that, have a presentation और उस presentation को present करें. Most of the time, 30% of the data is on the slide. You need to take care of 70. You can always start with 50-50. उसमें बुलेट पॉइंट्स डाल दीजिए, तस्वीरें डाल दीजिए. व्हाट आर यू स्केयर्ड ऑफ इन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स? कि मैं स्टेज पे जाके या मैं प्रेजेंटेशन करते हुए भूल जाऊंगा, राइट, या भूल जाऊंगी. दैट्स योर बिगेस्ट फेयर. उसको हैंडल करने के लिए स्लाइड यूज करें. हैव दैट इन द बैक ऑफ यू. क्यू कार्ड्स अपने हाथ में रखें. छोटे से कार्ड्स होते हैं जो प्रेजेंटेशन स्लाइड बनी हुई, उसके बुलेट पॉइंट्स उस कार्ड्स में लिखे होंगे. ट्राई फॉलोइंग दैट. तो जो थोड़ा सा चल रहा है उसको पीछे देखते भी जाएं, कार्ड में भी देखते जाएं. एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट यू, आप जिस भी जॉब पे आज लगे हुए, प्लीज कम नेक्स्ट वीकेंड से पहले अपने बॉस से कहिए, अपने टीम से कहिए कि आपका जो भी रोल है, आप अकाउंटेंट भी हैं, आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में भी हैं, आप इंजीनियर में भी हैं, आप इंजीनियर हैं, कुछ भी हैं, आप कहिए सीए हैं या तो आप कहिए कि मैंने जो ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट किया मैं इसके ऊपर प्रेजेंटेशन देना चाहता हूँ। आपको फ्री की ऑडियंस मिलेगी, यू नो देयर इज अ फ्री ऑडियंस दैट यू वुड गेट, यूजुअली पीपल हैव टू पे for these things. Start doing this. Take only 15 minutes of time of everybody, but say कि I want to work on my public speaking skills. और मैं शर्त लगा सकती हूँ, कोई दुनिया का मैनेजर नहीं होगा, बॉस नहीं होगा जो कहेगा कि दिमाग खराब है तुम्हें अपने प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स ठीक करनी है. They will be so happy to say that you're striving to become a better communicator. So ये मेरी एडवाइस है आपके लिए कि आप प्रेजेंटेशन स्लाइड से शुरू करें, जो कि बेसिक स्टेप है.
Okay, perfect. And then we also have another person. They've asked like three times कि मेरा question address कर दें कि how to improve your communication skills. Although I know कि थोड़ा बहुत address हो गया है, but if you could like give them some vital advice that they should know.
हाउ डू यू इम्प्रूव योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स? मैंने जैसा कि कहा है कि आप प्रेजेंटेशन से स्टार्ट कीजिए. नंबर टू, एक सबसे बड़ा आपका क्रिटिक है जो आपको हमेशा बहुत डराता है, वो आप खुद हैं. ठीक है, मतलब दुनिया में शायद सारे लोग आपसे कह दें कि क्या बेहतरीन प्रेजेंटेशन की थी, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं अंदर यू हैव दैट फियर that no, I didn't do well. So I would say that you would always start by recording yourself. अपना प्राइवेट यूट्यूब का चैनल बनाइए, कीप इट प्राइवेट. थोड़ा बहुत जो आपने काम किया है, कुछ पढ़ा है, उस दिन की 2 मिनट की वीडियो, 3 मिनट की वीडियो अपनी रिकॉर्ड कीजिए एंड जस्ट लुक एट योर सेल्फ दैट हाउ आर यू डूइंग. ट्रस्ट मी, 1 साल के बाद जब आप तकरीबन 300 वीडियोस करेंगे, या चले मैं कहती हूँ 200 वीडियोस करेंगे, यू विल सी अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस इन योर स्टाइल. एंड आप अपनी पहली वीडियो से अपनी 200th वीडियो को जब कंपेयर करेंगे, यू विल बी सरप्राइज हाउ फार यू हैव कम एंड यू हैव बीन प्रैक्टिसिंग. बिकॉज सबसे मुश्किल इंसान जिसको इम्प्रेस करना होता है वो आप खुद हैं. इट्स नॉट एनीबडी एल्स. 100 लोग आपसे कहेंगे ना कितनी जबरदस्त प्रेजेंटेशन की थी, और कोई एक कह देगा खाली यार ये क्या कह रहे थे, कोई बात ही नहीं समझ आ रही थी, वो आपके अंदर का क्रिटिक पकड़ लेता है. So you need to practice by watching yourself that how do you look, और उसको देखने से आप अपने हाथों के स्टाइल को प्रॉपर कीजिए. अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा ऊपर नीचे देख रहे हैं तो आप उसको फिक्स कीजिए कि मैं कैमरे में देखूं, मैं सामने देखूं. अगर आप किसी किस्म का बार बार नाक को छूते हैं या फेस को हाथ लगा रहे हैं, तो उसको भी आप जब दोबारा अपनी वीडियो देखेंगे, यू विल स्टार्ट फिक्सिंग दोस ग्लिट्स दैट यू गेट while you're doing presentation skills. और मेरे ख्याल से ये छोटे छोटे से स्टेप लेना शुरू कीजिए एंड यू आर गोइंग टू बी ऑन अ बेटर जर्नी ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन.
Very well answered. Just since we have a lot of questions coming in, तो मैं साथ साथ ही फिर सारे questions ले रही हूँ. We have one question कि how can we empower consistency in success? So what would you say about that?
Sorry, could you how can we empower consistency in success?
Success.
अक्सर अक्सर जब आप किसी गोल पे पहुंच जाएं तो वहां रुकिए नहीं. This is the key. So once you have reached somewhere, आपने सोचा था कि मैं जो हूँ I'm going to work with Dev Singh, और मैं यहाँ पे बस एक I'm going to get a job over there. वहां पे रुकना नहीं है. वहां पे जाने के बाद continue getting skills, continue getting doing courses, अपनी जॉब से ज्यादा की चीज करने की कोशिश करें. बिकॉज जब आप किसी चीज से बहुत मोहब्बत करते हैं तो आप रुकते नहीं है कि बस मुझे मिल गया तो खत्म है. You keep showing that I love this job, I love what I'm doing, and start manifesting and start working towards getting a better role in that organization. तो आप अगर बड़े बड़े ओशन में, क्या कहते हैं, बड़े तालाब में अगर छोटी मछली हैं, तो आप कोशिश करें कि उस बड़े तालाब में बड़ी मछली बनते जाएं. So one of the way to be consistent is not to stop learning and implying that learning in whatever you're doing. That's my answer to you, Aksa.
Okay, perfect. I hope that answers your question. अच्छा, इसके अलावा I think one question that we in general get a lot is related to interviews. I think जब भी कोई भी whenever a fresh graduate gets out of the university, this is the most intimidating basically point for them to get to. So they might go ahead and apply to like hundreds of jobs, but it's about showing up to that place and really just speaking about it, and speaking about their university experience or what they've learned so far. And I think a lot of legs shake on in that room a lot more than anywhere else. So how would you say is if you are a fresh graduate that's going for interview, how would you say they adopt probably a mindset or a skill that would help them get through that point, and maybe also like have some sort of success rate too?
So, Soha, let me tell you that most of the people who have done interviews, who are taking interviews, they can see through whether you're lying or not, whether you're faking it or not. And most of them would not tell you कि वो आपको क्यों हायर नहीं कर रहे हैं. एक प्रॉब्लम जो है, और मेरी कॉर्पोरेट से एक बड़ी रिक्वेस्ट होती है कि आप प्लीज जिस वक्त इंटरव्यू ले रहे होते हैं उस वक्त आपको समझ आ जाता है 80% ऑफ द टाइम कि मैं इसको नहीं लूंगा. इंटरव्यू के बीच में ही समझ आ जाता है दैट दिस ही इज नॉट शॉर्ट लिस्टेड. आई वुड रियली रिक्वेस्ट देम टू ऑलवेज गिव देम वन टिप. ये मैं इसलिए कहती हूँ कि मुझे जब मेरी पहली जॉब मिली थी, आई गॉट दैट ऑन माई 28th इंटरव्यू. सर 27 इंटरव्यूज में मेरी रिजेक्शन हुई थी एंड आई हैड नो आइडिया मैं क्यों रिजेक्ट हो रही थी. और आप सोचे इंटरव्यूज दे दे के रिजेक्शन ले ले के मैंने सीखा है हाउ टू गिव इंटरव्यूज. और तब से लेके आज तक आई वुड से अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने जब भी कभी इंटरव्यू दिया है सिंस आई बीन इन टेक डेटा, मुझे जॉब ऑफर आई है. नेवर द लेस वेदर आई ज्वाइन देम और नॉट, लेकिन मुझे जॉब ऑफर जरूर आई है बिकॉज आई क्रैक द कोड ऑफ डूइंग इट. और कोड ये होता है यू प्रिपेयर योर सेल्फ फॉर दैट रोल. फॉर प्लीज, मतलब मेरी बहुत हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है कि जब आप एड देखते हैं उस जॉब का और आपने देखा होता है कि उसमें कुछ चीजें लिखी हुई हैं जो उनको चाहिए, आपको थोड़ा सा हेलीकॉप्टर व्यू है उसके ऊपर, ठीक है. प्लीज स्टार्ट रीडिंग अराउंड इट, स्टार्ट रीडिंग. अब तो एआई आ गया है, आप कितने सारे सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर सकते हैं कि मुझे इसके ऊपर एक कोर्स वर्क बताओ, आई नीड टू लर्न अबाउट इट. छोटा सा उस पे खान अकेडमी पे कोर्स कर लें. आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू टू लाई, आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू कि जो चीज आपको नहीं आती उसका फेक करें. जो चीज आती है उसमें एक्सपर्टीज करना शुरू हो जाए. start talking the language that customer wants, that interviewer wants to hear. तो अगर आप जा रहे हैं किसी सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस में, then you should use the lingos of that software house. Printing की बात करें, deployments की बात करें, that and then BI की बात करें. वो words लेकर आइए that connects well with that organization. मेहनत करके जाइए. जब भी आप मुंह उठा के चले जाते हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए, ट्रस्ट मी द इंटरव्यूअर नोज इट. एंड जो एक इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपरेशन नहीं कर सकता वो नौकरी के लिए प्रिपरेशन करेगा या कोई मेहनत करेगा. सो यू रियली नीड टू पुट योर हार्ट ऑन दैट इंटरव्यू. ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि मैं इस जॉब के लिए बना हूं. ऑफर आए फिर आप देखिए whether you want to go for it or not. Number two, take care of your clothes, take care of your attire, take care of the way you look, how you smell, what are you wearing. Would you hire somebody if you whatever you're dressed up with, क्या आप उस ऐसे बंदे को हायर करेंगे अगर आप खुद इंटरव्यू ले रहे होंगे सिर्फ ये सोच के शीशा देखें मैं अगर इस पोजीशन पे हुआ तो मैं क्या करूंगा. दूसरी चीज ये है कि आप प्लीज अपनी प्रिपरेशन उस शख्स की भी कीजिए जो आपका इंटरव्यू लेने जा रहा है. 2 मिनट लगता है. जस्ट ओपन अप लिंक्डइन, look just look up that person's name and see what he has done, how senior he is. बातें करते करते अगर आप उससे ये कहेंगे कि सर आप क्या करते हैं, सबसे अच्छी चीज है कि सर आपका इतने सालों का एक्सपीरियंस है, व्हाट डू यू थिंक दैट आई शुड बी डूइंग इन माय फर्स्ट 2 years बिकॉज आई हैव सीन यू हैव वर्कड विद सो एंड सो कंपनी. जब आप ये बात करेंगे तो शोज दैट यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड. एक शख्स जिसके पास बहुत अच्छी डिग्रीज हो, उसने गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट है, सब कुछ है और प्रिपरेशन नहीं की हुई है, लेकिन इफ somebody is out there that is very average but is very passionate about that role and preparation करके आया है ठीक ठाक and he looks very humble and looks very truthful and is doing मतलब जो कि उसके see you can see through that he is very genuine in whatever he's saying, उसके ज्यादा higher chances है rather than being a gold medalist. So that's my answer to for the interviews. Few tips that you can at least start with at the moment.
Yeah. Your tips perfectly encapsulates how one should be approaching interviews, and also, again, it's a very intimidating process. It's itself, but I feel like
Soha, are you here? If anybody can see Soha or me, could you please write in the chat? Because I can't see Soha moving.
I think
Yes,
I had some
you're
sort of
back. No worries,
technical.
no worries, you're
I'm
back.
so sorry. This never happens, but it's okay. कोई बात नहीं. Technical issues होते हैं. Okay, I think let me just get back to the questions. So basically, we have few more questions. उसके बाद, of course, the time भी काफी ज़्यादा हो गया, so we'll wrap it up. But अच्छा, इरम, इसमें एक question ये भी है कि all right. So I have so many friends who possess confidence and knowledge, but when it comes to English, they lose their confidence. What suggestions can you offer for them? And I feel like this is something that a lot of Pakistanis face. I've personally seen a lot of people around me. A lot of my friends also suffer from this. So what would you say to them about switching to another language when they want to speak in public?
अच्छा देखिए व्हेन कम्युनिकेशन इज कम्प्लीटली जिम ठीक है आप कम्युनिकेशन की प्रैक्टिस करेंगे एक दिन 4 घंटे आपके डोले नहीं बनने वाले सिमिलरली इट्स अ जिम राइट सो अगर आप जाएंगे जिमिंग करेंगे 4 घंटे यू नीड टू डू इट एवरी डे और एटलीस्ट 3 to 4 times a week 15 मिनट के लिए चाहे आप करें सो दैट यू नो इट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस सिमिलरली इट इज कम्युनिकेशन सिमिलरली इट इज इंग्लिश तो अगर इंग्लिश आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है दैट यू नो वट एवर जॉब यूर अबाउट टू टारगेट ऑन एंड इट इज रियली रिक्वायर्ड ओवर देयर so I would suggest that you need to start from hearing a lot of English with subtitles. आप ये movies देख सकते हैं. I would say you could do that. Courses लेना is of course one of the things that you can do, but something that you can start as a practice if you are in university right now, school right now, and you can start with that. आप प्लीज फोर्स कीजिए अपने आगे पीछे के लोगों को कि कम से कम 1 से 2 घंटा जो है वो दिन का सिर्फ इंग्लिश में बात करें आपस में यू नो इंग्लिश की बुक्स रीड करें और मैंने जैसे कि एक बात पहले बताई थी कि आप इंग्लिश की बुक रीड करें अपना टारगेट रखें दैट यू नो यू विल फिनिश अ बुक इन 2 weeks 1 to 2 weeks और उसको खत्म करने के बाद आप एक प्रेजेंटेशन दें प्रेजेंटेशन आप इंग्लिश में दें यू नो कंप्लीटली तो वो जो
Hmm.
वर्ड्स आपने पढ़े थे जो रीडिंग आपकी वोकैबुलरी यू आर ट्राइंग टू टेक इन वो आउट तभी निकलेगी जब आप कोई प्रेजेंटेशन देंगे उसके बारे में या तो फिर आप बैठ के उसके 10 मिनट जो है ना खाने की टेबल पे अपनी फैमिली को इंग्लिश में समझाइए कि व्हाट वाज दैट बुक अबाउट and use those vocabularies. The only way you could get better in English is by practicing. If you don't practice, मार्वल की मूवीज उठा के देख लें डीसीज की देख लें मैं तो सारे दिन रात देखता रहता हूँ मुझे डायलॉग्स भी मुझे याद हैं बट इफ यू डोंट प्रैक्टिस इट द लिंगो वोंट कम ऑन योर टंग आपके मुंह से वो लिंगोज नहीं निकल पाएंगे और जब आप बात करने लगेंगे तो फिर आप ब्लैंक होंगे बिकॉज रिमेंबर आपकी सबकॉन्शियसली जो जवाब है वो पहले उर्दू में आता है एंड देन यू ट्रांसलेट इन इंग्लिश सो वट एवर यूर टॉकिंग अबाउट आप कितना भी कुछ कर लें आपकी मादरी जबान पहले जहन में आती है तो जब आप उसको ट्रांसलेट करना चाहेंगे आप नहीं कर पाएंगे बिकॉज आप प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहे हैं सो स्टार्ट फ्रॉम टुडे मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि अपने घर में हॉलीवुड का वो खोल लें यू कैन ऑलवेज वॉच सम नाइस यूट्यूब वीडियोस आप कुछ वो देख सकते हैं डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज देख सकते हैं अपने शौक की एंड देन अपने घर में उसके ऊपर प्रेजेंटेशन दें या फिर अच्छा सा एक ग्रुप बनाएं अपने दोस्तों का जो कि सिमिलर इनविजन रखते हैं एंड 4-5 लोग आप हर हफ्ते मिलें और एक दूसरे को प्रेजेंटेशन दें इंग्लिश में और कोर्स करें कि हम रोजाना जब फोन पे बात करेंगे या जूम कॉल करेंगे तो हम एक दूसरे से इंग्लिश में बात करेंगे तकरीबन 1 घंटा एंड ट्राई दैट सो आई होप
Yes.
दिस कैन वर्क आउट
Yeah, and again, वही बात है कि if you want to do something and it's a practical task, you need to start practicing for it. And again, as Iram you told, कि start reading, start listening, and personally, what I've seen is कि if you seen or observed is कि podcast सुनने से भी बहुत effect होता है, so you kind of are like listening to their accent, their dialects, and their words, and you're kind of like subconsciously अगर आपने side पे भी लगाई हुई है, it helps you a lot. So really start like putting in the work. You need to start somewhere. I know okay, it's a very intimidating, kind of like path that you want to get on, but you need to start it somewhere to get somewhere. Acha, we have this question and he eagerly wants you to answer is okay, after completing my intermediate degree, I'm stuck to
I was
adopt
yes,
any.
I was looking at his question, and
Yeah,
I was thinking that you know if we miss it, I'll at least try to address it. So
yeah,
Sami,
yeah.
uh, Sami, it looks like you have done your intermediate and you're not able to adopt to any tech field, and you want to earn money and you're unable to adopt anything which is profitable. Please, these things take time. मेरी शुरू की जॉब से थी ना सामी एंड सोहा आई यूज टू मेरी जो सैलरी थी वो मेरी पूरी फीस में जाती थी एंड आई यूज टू वॉक
Hmm.
I used to walk so that I could save 100 dirhams के मैं क्यों बस के वो लगाऊं and मुझे क्या जरूरत है till the time I got license and I could get my own home car वो भी मेरी अपनी गाड़ी नहीं थी उधार घर में मुझे रिक्वेस्ट करनी पड़ती थी so I'm telling you that profit and money doesn't come along आप एक्सीलेंस के ऊपर काम करना शुरू करें आप कोशिश करें कि जिस फील्ड को आपने सेलेक्ट किया है उसमें आप कोर्सेज करें सर्टिफिकेशंस करें मेरे ख्याल से द चीपेस्ट फॉर्म is to do bachelor's through one of the universities you can even हमारे बहुत अच्छी गवर्नमेंट की यूनिवर्सिटीज है there are amazing universities out there आप अपने आप को इस लेवल पे लेके जाइए that you become a part of it excellence लें please अदरवाइज वी हैव लॉट्स ऑफ पोर्टफोलियोज, हमारे पास बहुत सारे पोर्टल्स हैं, खान अकेडमी है, यूडीमी है, खान अकेडमी इज फ्री, यूडीमी है, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्लेसेस वेयर यू कैन गेट फ्री कोर्सेज। यूट्यूब पे इतने सारे बेहतरीन ट्रेनर्स हैं जो आपको सब्सक्रिप्शन की सर्टिफिकेशन तो नहीं मिलता दीज थिंग्स, बट यू
Yeah.
कैन गेन नॉलेज थ्रू देम। लेकिन अगर आपको सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए देन ऑफ कोर्स आपको किसी ना किसी पोर्टल के थ्रू जाना पड़ता है। सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट दैट प्लीज आप किसी भी चीज के ऊपर एक्सेल करने की कोशिश करें, internships लें, start from internship, you do so well in internship that they do put you up in the portal for hiring you, or at least the competitor कम से कम वही करे कि भाई आप नजर में आ रहे हैं, कोई competition ही उसका जो है आपको ले सके। तो these are the things that you can try out, लेकिन मैं आपको प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ, इंटरमीडिएट के बाद अगर आप पैसा बनाने के उसमें लग जाएंगे कि मेरे प्रॉफिट नहीं हो रहा, पैसा नहीं बना पा रहा,
Hmm.
some people have succeeded in doing this, मैं ये नहीं कह रही गलत है, लेकिन and on an average level it's not possible, it gets difficult, and down the line आपको फील होगा कि काश मैंने एक्सीलेंस कर लिया होता तो फिर मैं आज ज्यादा कामयाब होता। So that's for you, Sami. And there is
I
a
hope
small
that.
message from there is a small message from someone called Abid. How to become successful like you, DTM Iram. So this is a
Yeah, I was about
Toastmaster.
to ask you that.
He's a Toastmaster because he has used the word DTM, which means Distinguished Toastmaster. That's the highest rank of Toastmaster in education. And then you can become 2 time, 3 time, 4 time DTM. So Toastmaster Abid, thank you very much for being around. And I would say that I'm not successful yet. मेरे बहुत सारे ख्वाब हैं जो अभी नहीं पूरे हुए हैं, there are lots of visions that I need to do, and I would say कि I'm happy where I am, alhamdulillah, I'm very content where I am. However, काफी ज्यादा खलिश है अंदर के, there are lots of things that I need to attain before particular ages. मेरे बहुत सारे goals ऐसे हैं जो कि I'm working towards them. One of them is जो आज सोहा पूरा कर रही है, that I could give back to my Pakistani fellow people the experiences that I have. किसी भी तरीके से किसी एक को भी अगर मैं ऐसी कोई एडवाइस दे दूं जो उसकी जिंदगी चेंज कर दे आज से 2-3 साल में, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग में या मनी मेकिंग में या एनीथिंग, तो मेरा एक तरह से वो गोल पूरे हो जाएंगे। तो मैं कुछ वेट कर रही हूँ कि मुझे किसी का पता चले, बिकॉज ये नया काम मैंने शुरू किया है, तो फिर मैं कहूंगी कि आई हैव गॉट सक्सेसफुल। सो आई एम आल्सो थैंकफुल फॉर सोफा टू डू दिस थिंग। सो वंस आई डू दैट तो फिर मैं किसी दिन एक प्रोग्राम करूंगी व्हेन आई एम 60 years old and how am I successful, but not yet. Pretty far off,
And
Toastmaster Rabbit.
inshallah, inshallah. But also, like, I feel like the insights and the discussion we're having, it itself is such a service to a lot of people that are, lost right now. And I feel like, having this platform is a very, very, it's a privilege to be on here, and then also a privilege to have people like you here to answer a lot of these young kids that need some sort of, guidance, and then need navigation on how to move forward. Achha, Khair, we have so many questions coming in, and I'm so glad that a lot of people feel like these could be answered. But चलिए एक question लेते हैं. इसमें अच्छा, they are saying कि Iram, if someone has different educational background and want to switch the career path, for example, if someone has arts background and want to go in software house, what should the person do? How to change the career path?
एक बेहतरीन चीज जो इंसानियत के साथ हुई है विद लॉट्स ऑफ सैडनेस, मतलब बहुत जिंदगियां भी गई हैं, वो कोविड-19 जब हुआ था। कोविड-19 के बाद लोगों ने लिटरली अपने पाथ्स मतलब बिल्कुल चेंज कर दिए इधर से उधर, बिकॉज बहुत सारी जॉब्स खत्म हो गई हैं। देयर वर मेनी जॉब्स जो जो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने यूनिवर्सिटी में ज्वाइन किया था 2018 में, एंड बाय द टाइम दे गॉट ग्रेजुएटेड इन 2022 वो जॉब्स अब नहीं है। तो वी ऑल नो दैट कोविड-19 हैज चेंज द वर्ल्ड ऑल टुगेदर।
Yeah.
तो अगर आप अपना चेंज करना चाहते हैं कैरियर पाथ, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन। आपने जो कुछ किया है उसको फुल स्टॉप लगाइए और आप फौरन अपना टाइम इन्वेस्ट कीजिए जिस चीज को आप चेंज करना चाह रहे हैं। एंड इफ यू वांट टू गेट इनटू कोडिंग, आपको लगता है आप डेवलपर ज्यादा अच्छी बनेंगी बिकॉज दैट्स द नीड ऑफ द आवर, वी कुड सी दैट नाउ। एंड डेवलपर होना जो है विद द हेल्प ऑफ एआई इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल। यू वांट टू बी अ डिजाइनर, यू वांट टू बी रिसर्चर, यू नीड टू डू किसी किसी उसमें जाना चाहते हैं, डिप्लॉयमेंट में प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट करना चाहते हैं, एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू डू उसको सेलेक्ट कीजिए और उसमें एस करना शुरू करें। व्हेन आई से एस इट मींस टू गेट टू द एक्सीलेंस ऑफ इट। और उसके लिए जरूरी है कि छोटे छोटे से कोर्सेज स्टार्ट कीजिए, डिप्लोमा स्टार्ट कीजिए। आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्रेजुएशन एंड मास्टर्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट उस फील्ड का जो सर्टिफिकेशन होता है उसको हासिल कीजिए, कि उस फील्ड में जो चाहिए होता है एक सर्टिफिकेट मुझे चाहिए होगा टू गेट इनटू दिस फील्ड। एंड देन स्टार्ट फॉलोइंग द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जो ऐसे लोगों को हायर करती है जो आप मैनिफेस्ट कर रही हैं, जो आपको चाहिए करने के लिए। और फिर आप वहां पे देखेंगे जब कोई पोजीशन खुलती है तो उन्होंने रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या लिखी हुई है, कि क्या क्या किया होना चाहिए। दो चार कंपनीज का फॉलो करें कि वो क्या लिखते हैं, एंड देन अपना पाथ बनाइए टू स्टडी। क्योंकि ये कंपनीज ऐसे लोगों को देखती हैं जिन्होंने इसमें कोर्स किया है, इतना एक्सपीरियंस हो, इतना कोर्स, इतनी एजुकेशन हो, तो चलो मैं इसको पढ़ना शुरू कर देती हूँ, एंड यू स्टार्ट फॉलोइंग दैट। So I wish you all the best and I'm very glad. मेरा अपना सगा भाई जो है, he has done civil engineering from Abu Dhabi University and then we moved him into PM role in my startup. और उसके बाद अब जो है वो पेगा में गया हुआ है, कोडिंग भी कर रहा है। तो उसने एक तरह से नीड ऑफ द आवर देखते हुए, बिकॉज सिविल इज बीन वेरी हार्डली अफेक्टेड, और जो उसका सिविल उसने किया था उसकी जो है इट्स नॉट वेरी सिमिलर टू हाउ वी डू इन पाकिस्तान। सो उसने कहा दैट दिस इज व्हाट आई नीड टू डू बिकॉज आई वांट टू वर्क फॉर रिमोट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। और वो पढ़ रहा है, वो पिछले 6 महीने से सब पढ़ाइयां कर रहा है। ही इज इन्वेस्टिंग दैट 6 months and preparing himself to get into the market. जबकि he has 7-8 years of experience and a proper graduation. उसके बावजूद भी वो कर रहा है। So I would suggest that anyone can do it at any age. So all the best to you for selecting the other career path.
ओके परफेक्ट, आई रियली रियली होप कि आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गया। अच्छा इरम, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच, इतना टाइम हम लोगों ने वी हैव इन्वेस्टेड सो मच टाइम ऑन दिस लाइव एंड यू लाइक रियली जस्ट निटपिक्ड एवरी क्वेश्चन, और हर चीज़ को आपने जो है ना आंसर किए। बट लास्ट क्वेश्चन है और उसके बाद I would want you to give some tips. So basically, they're asking, can you please recommend me some good books for business marketing? And then also, if any, you can generally just give people advice and tips on how to move forward with their individual journeys. जिसमें फिर communication skills भी आ जाते हैं, drafting or crafting your career path भी आ जाता है, and everything. Would love to have that included here.
One book that please I would ask you all to read is Atomic Habits by James Clear. और वो आपके इसी प्रोग्राम के ऊपर बेस्ड है, कम्युनिकेशन पे बेस्ड है एंड कैरियर पे बेस्ड है। वो इस तरह है कि अगर आप रोजाना सिर्फ 1% वो काम करें जो आप करना चाहते हैं, सिर्फ 1%, आप सोचें 100 में से सिर्फ 1% करें, तो 1 साल के बाद आप 37 टाइम्स बेहतर होंगे उसमें। मतलब अगर आप चाह रहे हैं कि मैं डिजाइनिंग करूं, तो उसके ऊपर अगर आप पढ़ाई करना शुरू करें एंड प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू कर दें, आज 1 साल के बाद आप 37 टाइम्स उस चीज में बेहतर होंगे, और इसी तरह आप एक्सेल करते हैं। एटॉमिक हैबिट्स एक बहुत खूबसूरत किताब है, आई वुड रिकमेंड टू प्लीज हैव इट। एंड उसी के बेस पे मैं कह रही हूँ दैट वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू डू, जो आपके ख्वाब हैं, पहले तो अपने ख्वाब बनाएं, क्रेजी ख्वाब बनाएं, इतने पागल होने चाहिए कि बराबर में कोई ना कोई जरूर बोले कि तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब है। जब तक से कोई ये ना बोले ना, इसका मतलब आपका ख्वाब क्रेजी नहीं है। यू नो डू दैट, कि मतलब आई हैव समथिंग दैट मैं इस एज में ये करना चाहती हूँ, मैं इतना कमाना चाहती हूँ, मैं ये बनाना चाहती हूँ, मैं प्रॉपर्टी लेना चाहती हूँ अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए इस टाइम पे। मतलब ऐसा कोई ख्वाब रखें और फिर उसको ब्रेक डाउन करें, उस ख्वाब तक पहुंचने के लिए मुझे क्या क्या करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी, विच शुड बी वेरी रियलिस्टिक। तो आज आप यहाँ बैठे हो, बोले उस ख्वाब को पूरा करने के लिए कल मैं बुर्ज खलीफा पे हूँ, तो दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। इसलिए देयर हैज टू बी समथिंग वेरी रियलिस्टिक that you can do, and start write keep a book with you that this, and उस बुक को फॉलो करें। आप अपने पास किताब अपने हाथों से लिखें अपने पेन से, मैं ये करना चाहती हूँ, उसको ब्रेक डाउन करूँ तो उसके लिए ये करना पड़ेगा, ये कोर्सेज करने पड़ेंगे, इतना पैसा कमाना पड़ेगा, एंड देन उसकी तरफ वर्क करना शुरू करें। ट्रस्ट मी, आप ख्वाब बनाएं, आप गोल्स रखें, आपको खुद फील होगा कि यूनिवर्स हैज स्टार्टेड हेल्पिंग यू। लेकिन अगर आप गो विद द फ्लो वाला बंदा है, आपके लिए लाइफ बहुत टफ होगी। चीजें होती जाएंगी, आप उसमें खुश भी नहीं होंगे, कोई जिंदगी का गोल नहीं होगा, एंड आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स द वे हाउ वी शुड बी लीडिंग आवर लाइफ। So I hope that has answered, and if there is any other question, तो हम क्विकली 1-2 मिनट के अंदर उसको ले लेते हैं दोबारा।
Hmm. Oh, we have a lot of questions. अच्छा जी, अच्छा ये devsing related है। अच्छा, for everybody that's asking about the internships and everything, I would really recommend you guys to keep a close eye on the devsing socials. We always announce our internship programs and our job openings there, and also हमारा एक non-tech empowerment program भी चल रहा है। For them, the official emails have rolled out, so keep an eye for your emails as well if you were interested in that and if you filled out the form for it.
So
अच्छा जी,
there's a question I have read of Mohammed Bilal. So
yeah,
Mohammed
I just
Bilal,
googled it.
spot on, spot on. You should do this. Mohammed Bilal, business developer, and I know how this position works. and he is into, business development and these things, email marketing, CRM, and he feels it is not enough because he has done software engineering. And should I move towards business analyst? Yes, you should. And if you are doing any of the certifications of business analyst, क्योंकि पेगा से भी आप कर सकते हैं, डायरेक्टली भी आपका बिजनेस, इनफैक्ट पेगा इज अ डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म इन ऑल टुगेदर, एसएबी का कर सकते हैं, और बिजनेस एनालिस्ट का सर्टिफिकेशन अगर कर रहे हैं, आई वांट यू टू पिंग मी ऑन लिंक्डइन एंड टेल मी दैट यू आर रेडी, you have done it, and I might have something for you. ठीक है, so if this is the beauty of it. So Bilal knows he's just getting a verification around that should I do this, but यही है तरीका, because business developers, business development के लोगों के लिए अब challenge हो गया है. टेक्निकल लोगों के और कस्टमर के बीच में एक बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट का बंदा होता था, लेकिन उसका कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं होता था. बिजनेस एनालिस्ट बन के आपके पास एक फॉर्मूला आ रहा है, दैट यू नो हाउ टू डू इट. इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ स्क्रम, और बड़े मजे से जो है ये बताता है कि कैसे बिजनेस करना चाहिए, किस तरह कन्वर्जेशंस करनी चाहिए, कैसे ड्राइंग्स होनी चाहिए, क्या उसकी प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट होनी चाहिए. और हर शख्स जिसने कभी भी सेल्स या बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट की है, वो बीए को इन्विजन करे. प्लीज बीए आप कीजिए, दैट्स द फ्यूचर इन आईटी इंडस्ट्री. एंड ये बंदा जो है, ये पोजीशन जो है, ये जब खत्म हो जाएंगी सेल्स के रोल्स, तो ये पोजीशन जो है बहुत वाइटल हो जाएगी between the customer and the technical team. So yes, Bilal, please go ahead with it, and I wish you all the best, and I'll wait for you to ping me once you have done it.
I think you've given him his own tailored motivation speech, and I might not be from business development myself, but like I feel motivated. So that's the beauty of it. That is amazing. To really enable people in this way, and also, I'm so grateful that you took out this time to address every single question, give tailored advices to every single person. I feel like that is amazing. And also, for example, अगर किसी का कोई question रह जाता है, so in collaboration with Iram, we would make sure that we answered that, since a lot of people have a lot to ask from you, and I feel like this has been such an engaging session. So thank you so much, Iram, for your time, and everybody that joined. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next Thursday with a new guest with a new topic. So see you guys around, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Soha. Take care, everyone. Thank you.